Hmm. Welcome, beautiful ones, to the 64th passage of the Tao Te Ching. And this perhaps is the most famous quote of the Tao Te Ching. This passage, whether you know it or not, there'll be a line in it. And I'm curious if you recognize it, if you've heard it before. I'm going to invite you to put it in the comments when you recognize this passage and how long you realize how long the Tao Te Ching has been with you and how many ways it has shaped and directed and influenced and guided your journey. As we arrive together, I'm giving a humble bow to each and every one of you that is here live on Zoom, Facebook, and on YouTube, and all of you that are following on the replay. And remember, this is number 64. That means if you're just joining us, you can dive into the well of the Tao of Women page, and you can enjoy 63 more passages just like this. So let's get started as we always do in our practice. We begin with our breath by orienting our attention and awareness to ourselves, to our breath. And so as we breathe, as we inhale and exhale, we are emptying, we are arriving and opening as we breathe together through time and space to receive this wisdom from thousands of years ago and how it's been translated, retold, rewoven to meet us right here, right now. Passage 64. Beginnings without ends. What has already begun is simple to nurture. What is new is easy to change. What is rigid can be easily broken. What is loose can be dislodged. Prevention is easiest before the difficulty begins. Planning for order comes before the beginning. The oak tree grows from an acorn, and a long journey begins with a single step. When beginnings are rushed, failures result. Trying to control is lost. Forcing an ending destroys the natural completion. The wise woman acts by participating in the unfolding. She remains serene in the process. Do you recognize the line? So let's continue on this journey and receive this passage one more time to see what else is here. Beginnings without ends. What has already begun is simple to nurture. What is new is easy to change. What is rigid can be easily broken. What is loose can be dislodged. Prevention is easiest before difficulty begins. Planning for order comes before the beginning. The oak tree grows from an acorn, and a long journey begins with a single step. When beginnings are rushed, failures result. Trying to control is lost. Forcing an ending destroys the natural completion. And the wise woman acts by participating in the unfolding. She remains serene in the process. So, with that, let us continue our long journey with a few steps into our practice space. And as we always do, I invite you to find your feet and find your space. Bringing your hands and feet together, feeling rooted and lifted. And with a humble bow, we empty our cup, letting go of the thinking mind, letting go of the part of our mind that's trying to analyze and translate the passage, and just simply give it all to the earth. And when you're ready, feel your feet like roots. Then start to inhale as this energy rises up through your roots, up through your legs, up through your torso and spine, and unfurls out your shoulders. Your crown continues to lift as you step across the threshold into our sanctuary. Beginnings without ends. Remember, these are transmissions. Let us find our posture in Wuji, this empty place. Let the earth hold your feet. Let your knees be over your feet. Let your hips be over your knees. Let your core open as you sit on a tall stool. Let your energy of your spine simultaneously, the lower spine lowers toward the earth, and the spine lengthens and lifts towards the sky. Your hands are resting on this energy of the earth. When you rush the beginning, failure results. So let's not rush this part. Allow yourself to empty. And from here, bring one hand and cradle your dantian underneath your navel. Again, this is a beginning. You began here. Cradle your beginning. And we'll practice a form called Zen Circles. And remember, there are many variations. This is just one. And so from here, letting your breath be the leader, be the guide, finding your breath. And as you do, you're going to turn your waist. And as your waist turns, your hands follow. And as you turn your waist back toward the other side, turning your hips, your hands follow. And in this communication between turning your hips and your waist and your hands following, you start to naturally trace the circle in front of you. A circle has no beginning or end. And so we're tapping into this eternal wisdom. And yet, there are points, there are moments of initiation and moments of completion and pause and then initiation and completion. So letting our breath be the leader. When we inhale, that's the initiation. Your hands rise. And there's a pause. And then there's a completion with that exhale as your hands float down. And my temptation, I notice I slow way down right here. I slow way down. And then it's time to have my breath. And so I hurry up, I initiate quickly. And the passage said when you rush that in the beginning or at the end, you interfere with its unfolding. So let us just drop into our body, drop into our hips and waist, drop into our breath, and to this movement, this circle that has no beginning and no end. Yet there is an initiation and a completion. And try to smooth it out, making it all the same rate, the same speed, the same level of intensity. Like you're smooth, you're having a thread, a silk thread, and you're not pulling on any part of the thread any more in the circle than any other part of the thread. It's harmonized, smooth. And for a moment, since we're embodying these practices and we're extending them into your life, take a moment and see, where do you start to rush quickly and start to complete quickly? I can see many a time. I do it in Qigong forms. I do it in when I'm teaching a lot of times. I do it when I'm right now in Birth Song Botanicals. We're launching new products, right? And so I can see how I rush and I want to jump ahead to get it done and have to remind myself. One step at a time. This is a massive project. One step at a time. Where are you in this circle? I'm going to be silent for a moment for you to let the form teach you. And now we're about to transition. So, to not rush this transition, let it happen naturally, unfold. As your top hand rises and it makes it to the top, let the bottom hand release. And you're following that top hand with your attention. And now let them both land. And we're going to go the other direction. So now turn toward the direction of that top hand. Let the bottom hand hold your dantian, hold your belly. Let your hips and waist be the leader, along with your breath, as you naturally unfold and start moving in the other direction. How you made that smooth transition without any stopping, without any speeding up or slowing down. And while you're in this space, I'm going to read the passage to you again. so you can embody it. So stay in the practice. Beginnings without ends. What has already begun is simple to nurture. What is new is easy to change. What is rigid can be easily broken. What is loose can be dislodged. Prevention is easiest before the difficulty begins. Planning for order becomes before the beginning. The oak tree grows from an acorn. A long journey begins with a single step. When beginnings are rushed, failures result. Trying to control is lost. Forcing an ending destroys the natural completion. The wise woman acts by participating in the unfolding. She remains serene in the process. As I join you, remaining serene, feeling the current that is in motion. Feeling that sweet spot between the line said, when you try to control, control is lost. And yet that place of being serene and that sweet spot in the realization of not hurrying and not slowing down, that could be a little bit of control, but it's also mindfulness, choice, awareness, and allowing the breath and the body to create the pace, not the mind. And yet the mind follows and pays attention. Merging breath and mind, body and movement, smooth. And as we start to bring this to a natural completion, we'll transition similarly to the way we did last time. The top hand will open and the bottom hand will open. And we're going to just play with this chi ball for a minute. And we're going to let this chi ball gradually get smaller. But what I'm doing is I'm turning from my hips and my waist. And I'm letting my hands return to center. And then I'm following the direction of my top hand and just allowing my hands to open. As my hands return to center, I return to center. I follow my top hand. And as both hands return to center, I return to center. And so we're playing with this big chi ball. And there's an opening and a closing. And so we're not going to rush this closing, but we're going to gradually make this chi ball a little smaller. So now I had it at my forehead, at my third eye, and now it's getting smaller. My top hand is resting near my throat. My chi ball is condensing, and yet I'm staying at the same rate. I'm allowing there to be that pause at the completion and that initiation as I let this chi ball gradually condense. Now it's coming close to my diaphragm. So my circle is getting smaller. But I'm moving at the same rate, following my hips and my waist, my breath. My hands are consolidating this energy. Feeling this starting to come to completion. This chi ball is getting more substantial as I am drawing my attention and my awareness back to where I started, back to my dantian, back to my belly, back to my navel. And at some point, I'm going to choose to come to completion. So I'm making my movements smaller and softer. And for me, I'm feeling like I'm getting close to that point where I'm about to come to completion. And so I'm just going to let my hands rest on my belly. I'm going to bring my feet a little closer and bring my hands a little closer. And let's just rest here. Let all of that beginning and without end return to its source. Return home. Returning home, staying with your body, staying with your breath, staying with this wisdom of not rushing or forcing an ending, but just allowing it to complete in its own way. As you anchor all of this into your body, we're in a time where we're expanding our capacity to hold and anchor light and energy in our human body. We already know we can incessantly think. We can incessantly do. That leads to depletion. We're standing in a wisdom circle. We're cultivating yin qualities. We're allowing ourselves to return to our center, to our source. And in so doing, we amplify our capacity to hold this energy that we're cultivating. So as we're here, you might feel a gentle rock and sway in your body as you allow this energy to circulate through the meridians, to enliven your blood with new energy, oxygen, aliveness to soothe your central nervous system so that you come into a state of regulation and wholeness. Like you always are, you're just attuning to this frequency so you can hold more energy and have the capacity to embody presence, peace, authenticity, and love. And so, with that, we're going to complete. And so, we'll do like we always do as we draw the earth energy up, connecting with the heaven energy, the sunlight, the rain, the sky, the vast sky. And we integrate the spaciousness of the formless energy of yang into the form of the body, into the yin substance of the blood, of the tissues. As we connect with the earth, there is a rising and there's a receptivity as we integrate our mind, our body, our spirit, our jing, our qi, our shen. Integrating, embodying, coming into harmony. On this last one, you're going to shift your weight. Your hands are going to float out. Your hands are going to float up as your feet come together. And now stretch out of that energy body and into your physical body as your hands face down, and just let gravity do all the work. And the energy from this practice is going down and into your body. And everything above your hands is clear. Your shen is up. Your mind is bright. Your heart is open and receptive. And your body is alert and relaxed. And you send everything that you're keeping into this practice into your belly. And if there was any part that didn't resonate with you, or there's other parts that you still need to release, spread your hands out to the side and then down, and just send it down to Gaia. Give it to Gaia to compost. And then when you rise back up, seal it in, making a small circle, nourishing you in the other direction. And together we'll bow out. Right hand makes a fist. Shine every day like the brilliant sun. Never forget, you are pure, luminous light. Left hand covers it like the moon, whole and complete, cyclical, always whole in your darkest hour. And we bring it to our heart to infuse it with compassion. And we bow. We bow to everybody here in the circle live and on the replay. We bow to our teachers, teachers, and the teacher within. And we draw this back into our heart, and we do not keep it or store it in our heart. We infuse it in our great love, and yet we keep it in our belly like nourishment as we step back across the threshold, and we rub it in and we shake it off, and we utilize that good energy like a chi bath as you tap back into your body, knowing we are about to go back into the world. And as we do, I'm asking you, what did you receive from this passage today? If you haven't gotten a copy of the book, please do. If you would love to dive deeper in, there is a whole well of these passages and short practices for you on my YouTube channel. Push like and subscribe. and go to pathwithharmony.com and join the program for free. You have lifetime access and you can share these with your friends. The more you share it, the better it is, the more it grows, and we shift from feeling isolated and alone. We shift into feeling interconnected and alive. And I would love to hear what you received in the comments. And I bow to all of you, and I'll see you next week